Hi.
Hi, Zibby. Thanks for doing this. You're like the patron saint for authors who didn't get to go on book tour, or in my case, got canceled midway. So thank you for doing this. It's really amazing.
Oh, no problem. It's not just me. There are a lot of people like me out there. I know Mighty Blaze is trying to do it, Reading with Robin. But thank you. I'm trying. um, Tell everybody about Willis Grove.
Well, when I wrote it, never did I think it would be so timely because the central question that courses through the waters of these pages is so now what? Which is a question we're all asking right now. And the book is a novel, and it's about four women who are all at major crossroads moments. And they're all very relatable crossroads moments. And as a result, they've gone into isolation. And I think that happens with so many of us because many of the crossroads moments in our lives are things that we chose, right? Like a spouse or a partner, a career. You know, maybe we even have letters after our name in our career. So we worked hard and spent a lot of time and money to become experts in something only to find out that I don't want to be a psychiatrist. I don't want to be a teacher. Um, or another one that's really common, I think, is feeling a lot of shame and empty nest, right? Like you have children not to have them live in your basement. You want them to fledge. And yet for many of us, it's debilitating. Although my adult children are both home and they're Wi-Fi hogs. They're both not allowed to be on Wi-Fi right now. But so I think as a result, I mean, there are other things that bring us to crossroads moments, obviously. Illness, we don't choose that. Taking care of a family member with dementia, we don't choose that. But so often the things that have us in isolation um, bring us into this deep shame and fear of being judged. And so the book is about one woman who has recently lost her husband. They live the Emersonian dream in Montana, where I live, and I've lived for 30 years, of self-reliance. He dies, and she realizes quickly she's not so self-reliant. And as a result, she starts to isolate. And finally, something happens, push comes to shove, and she finally reaches out to a childhood friend that lives far away from her and spills it. And that friend says, you know, almost everyone I know is going through some sort of crossroads, especially all of us right now are. And she said, why don't we create a week-long retreat where you invite me, I invite somebody that I know is also in isolation because of a crossroads moment. And then she invites a fourth person, and we come to Montana and we help each other figure out what's next in our lives. So that's what the book is about. It's a novel, but it's inspired by my Haven writing retreats that I've been leading out here for 8 years. And just like what happens when people get together in these temporary communities that I'm calling like bridge communities, that they're always like, it could never be this good again, right? Like it just couldn't be, but it is over and over. And I wanted to capture that in a book. And Montana is really a character too. So my hope is that people will read the book and then say, I want to do this. You know, I want to do Zibby's Grove and then follow the same recipe. You invite a friend, she invites a friend, and that friend invites a friend. And I think there's something different about those temporary communities because you don't take each other personally. You're not raising kids together. You're not running into each other at the grocery store, etc. So that's what the book is about.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's pretty timely all of a sudden. When I was in New York, I guess it was like a month ago, and then Boston, Chicago. I'm from Chicago originally, so I was there for like a week, and then Minneapolis, and then I had to cut it short before I went west. And I was taking a poll, you know, raise your hand if you've ever been in a so now what? And of course, everybody raises their hands. Raise your hand if you're going through one right now or someone you know, and about half the room would raise their hand. Now everybody would raise their hand, right? Everybody.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, everybody has to kind of pause and figure out what to do with their life now, recreate the moment, how to live in the current moment, all of it. I mean, it's beyond timely. How are you keeping up with the retreats when people can't actually retreat? Are you trying to get like four people to do a Zoom, or like how are you doing that?
That is a good question. So yeah, the word pivot is now our collective. So all of the people who lead the leading writing retreats in the country are friends of mine, and so we've been on the phone, and we've all decided to take it online. You know, it's not like someone's out there leading a live retreat. And while the magic of Montana is part of why people come, and I bring over 100 people a year into Montana to do my different programs. You don't have to be a writer to come, but I've worked with lots of authors. It really meets you where you need to be met. So but it's not like there are other choices, right? So we crave community. We need community. And that's what I do for a living. I facilitate community and help people find their most authentic and powerful self-expression. So I'm bringing it online, man. I just decided yesterday that I'm going to bring my May retreat online. Then
Good.
I do in June. And then hopefully by September and October, we'll be able to do it live again. But my kids, thank God they're home. They've, crash course on MailChimp, Zoom, Insta Live. That's today's little lesson. My daughter's about rooms over. Yeah, Canva. I learned all about Canva yesterday. So I've decided that looking into each other's virtual eyes is, it's something, isn't it? I mean, I feel connected with you right now. And
Totally.
so I think we can do it. I think we have no other choice. We need this now more than ever.
I agree. And I think that, I mean, no one would ever say like you don't connect with someone if you call them on the phone, right? Or you don't, right? That's still connection. Like we encourage people to reach out in our daily lives, like stop. And, now we can all, this is, I mean, yeah, so we're not in person, but whatever. I mean, it matters. It helps. And it's important. I think it's really important. So you should totally do your retreats and expand now. You can like, I would love to, if you did like an hour long retreat thing, Zoom, like sign me up. Like that sounds awesome.
Well, I just so happen to be doing a one-day workshop on Saturday with Albert Flynn de Silver, who leads, he's a writing teacher and coach and leads mindfulness meditation staff. And we were going to do a workshop this weekend at 1440 in the Redwoods in Santa Cruz, which of course got canceled. So we're doing a one-day workshop. And then I'm going to start something, I just decided this the other day, called the So Now What workshop. So you don't have to be a writer to come, but it is using writing as a therapeutic tool. And I've been saying this for years, and it's really pertinent right now. I think writing should be up there with diet and exercise in the realm of preventative wellness. So
I
while
love
writing
it.
therapy, it's the most therapeutic tool I know. I tell people it's my practice, my prayer, my meditation, my way of life, and sometimes my way to life. And that's the memoir and the modern love essay were really an example of me writing my way through a difficult time and tuning into the mind and how it both serves us and sabotages us. So if I can help people with that, doing that work daily while we're going through all this, I think it will really help. So yeah, I'm gonna do it. The So Now What workshop, and I don't know if it's gonna be 1 hour or all day or something in between, but I'll be able to share my Montana life with people. It's totally snowing right now. I don't know if
What? Wow,
I
that's crazy.
changed the set. I don't know if you can see out the window, but look, it's
Oh my
snowing.
gosh, that's amazing.
I feel very lucky to be able to be on acreage in Montana right now. So I want to be
Aw.
with people virtually.
Well, thank you so much for doing this. I'm so excited to connect with you, even briefly, to be continued. We have obviously, I want to talk so much more about all of the things that you do, and hopefully, you can come on my podcast. We could talk more about it. Moms don't have time to read books, and thank you. And keep me posted and post about everything you're doing, and that's exciting. Go for it.
I sure will. Thanks, Zibby, and just thanks again for doing this. And
Yeah.
I hope this book lands in people's hearts. I wrote
Willis
it.
Grove, check it out. Laura Munson, Willis Grove. And I'm so happy, by the way, that you connected with Amy earlier. That made me really happy.
Chatting last night, late night.
Awesome.
Okay, take care.
Okay,
Bye.
bye. Thanks.